Yep, that's a midlife crisis car right there. He comes out on his phone. He almost knocks down a little high school girl with her little Starbucks and shit. The exciting people I run into and see. So I hope everyone's doing well today. So I'm hearing a lot about the tariffs. My wife's business, she belongs to a small business association, and they regularly order from different countries. And they just changed the law yesterday. So as of yesterday, well, come on now. Well, don't crash into each other. That's not going to make it fun. There we go. Get off the phone, knucklehead. These people, hey, good morning. Good morning, Cobra, Billy, Jules, WolfGang. As of this morning, up until now, the tariffs for anything over $800, $1,000, it was like some cap. So minor things like clothing and backpacks. Well, now they've changed it. The president changed it yesterday to where it also includes anything under the $800 cutoff. Now, I don't know if there's a bottom end to that, so if it's anything now above $300, I couldn't tell you. So up until a little while ago, up until yesterday, what's up, Jules? Are y'all getting rained on up in Canada? Because we're getting the most horrendous weather in Texas right now. But by the way, congratulations on getting rid of Trudeau. I knew he was gone, but like, I understand now you guys have like a business person as a prime minister, which is infinitely better than that other meathead. Hopefully that guy doesn't screw up the country, but I'm standing outside for a fire drill. Oh, yay. They ran Wolf out. They're like, be gone. Your tail will catch fire. Oops. So, in any case, so the president changed the lower threshold from $800 to basically any product coming in from China. So we're probably going to see the Amazon prices suddenly shift. Now, if you ordered before, there's a certain date it applies. So if you ordered before that date, or if the order was already in place, you're no longer affected. You're not affected. But after that threshold point and that date, and I don't know if it's today or Monday. I wasn't able to get all those details. But hey, Jim. Hey, James. Well, it's James. Sorry, James. I can't see. I don't have my glasses, so I see a James, but I can't see your last name. But welcome from Australia. That's awesome. I actually have quite a few coworkers here in Texas who are a bunch of Aussies, actually, which is kind of comical because you get the Australian and Texas cultures are very similar. People don't realize that. They like to drink. They like to tell terrible jokes. They're very loud in the bar. And you always know where they are. So, like, if you get Oklahoma folks, Louisiana, Texans, Canadians from Calgary are that culture, too. I don't know if it's that outdoors ranch subculture. But, hey, what's up, Hudson? But we have a lot. One of my buddies here, he's not from Sydney. He's from, Canberra? I don't know. I don't remember all the cities over there. But, yeah, he's my mischief buddy. And yeah, the fact that we didn't get thrown out of a local bar the other night was a miracle of creative speaking when the bouncers came for us. So, and actually we didn't start it. We were just having fun, and someone took offense to something. We weren't even talking to them. But in any case, welcome. So in any case, so the tariffs have changed. The lower threshold is no longer 800. They don't specify in the article, so it may be anything now is eligible for that very high tariff. Now, on the flip side, the nation of Vietnam is quite excited to fill that gap because they have quite a textile industry. So Vietnam has approached the president, is what I'm hearing, and the deal was, we'll take the textile and clothing. And us in Indonesia, I guess they're doing some kind of bundle deal. I don't know what the hell is going on. But they're, thank you, Hudson. But they're trying to basically say, you know what, we can handle that. And, you know, we've all made peace and we're all good. And, you know, we'll support each other. And then we can help with the Philippines as far as keeping the South China Sea free. So that would be interesting if you suddenly see a pivot away from China and move toward Argentina, Vietnam, Philippines, and India. That would devastate China's economy. Like, I don't think Europe could fill the economic void the US would create if it banned China for some reason, for whatever reason. Hey, Moldy. So that would be fun to witness. Now, what we're going to see in the meantime, without a doubt, you're going to see that inflationary effect on your pricing. Now, the good news is oil and gas is down, right? Now, I'm in the energy sector, so right, like the energy prices go down. We're not super happy about it. But we also know that if they go too high, it breaks everything else in the economy, and that's not good either. So there's kind of like this sweet spot where the energy companies make money and it's not ridiculous, and everyone else doesn't get screwed either. And we're kind of at that point right now where the energy prices have come down enough to offset a big quake off the coast of Argentina. That would not surprise me. China's industry has been moving to India for 5 years already. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, Niels. It'll be interesting to see if BRICS actually survives. The truth is, this play to displace America and displace the dollar is not a short-term thing. This was something China started years and years ago. For example, you think about it, we have no idea how many undeclared dollars go into California's political system from China, right? Now you think about this for a second. If I'm a Chinese leader and I'm like, I want America to be more socialist, I would study America's government. And I would say, okay, California has about 50 something electoral votes. If you understand the electoral college, I would say, well, if I can turn California into a socialist state, that's going to propagate effect across the nation, even if I don't turn all the nation into a socialist state. And I wonder if that's, because that's been going on for years. Back under Schwarzenegger, they actually started what they call a jungle primary. So you don't have a Republican, a Democrat, a Green, Libertarian, where you register your party and then you put a candidate. Instead, whichever two top candidates get the most popular vote are the two that run for governor. Well, LA and San Francisco dominate the politics in the country, or in the state. So you always wind up with two Democrats, and you don't wind up with like a blue dog Democrat from Sacramento. You wind up with the super left ones. And so I wonder how long China's been poking holes in some of our states trying to affect them. There's a map online, if I can find it, I will post it again, that shows how much each state is importing from China. And he said bark. Hey, Austin. What's on the tree? He said bark. Haha. That's awesome. My dog will just bark at me and be like, the bird is in the tree, but I can't kill him. I don't know why my corgis want to kill the grackles. The stupid birds that go and they make a bunch of noise. If they're on the ground and I open the back door in the property, they're out the door. I mean, they leave a dust trail. And he almost caught one. Bentley almost caught one the other day. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do? What are you going to do with that nasty bird? Now I'm going to have to chase you and remove the dead bird from your mouth, which I don't want to have to be involved in. So, yeah. Half its population. Well, and Neil, you're the second or third person to bring that up, that there's large belief that they've had a population collapse but have hidden it because of their control over the media in that country, which is actually very horrifying and very interesting at the same time. I didn't mean to interrupt. No worries, Austin. There's no specific direction today. But in any case, as I was saying, it was a fun joke though, Austin. Point being, we're going to start seeing the shifts. The energy is about where it's not going to kill us, and it's brought prices down, and I'm seeing it across the board. So what we're going to have to do, what's going to be important, adaptability and creativity, I know this sounds really hokey, is going to be very key in the next few months. Typically, if you have a big tariff effect, you have a big change economically, it doesn't happen like that, right? It takes 4, 8, maybe even 12 weeks for the ripple effect to come through. If you look back at 2020, 2021, right? We had that freighter crash in the Suez. It got hung up in the Suez Canal. We had the shutdowns because of the Rona. We still found product. We didn't actually see empty shelves other than the toilet paper hoarding, which was people doing that. We didn't see actual production shortages for about 8 weeks. Then the production shortages hit because what was already being manufactured got kicked out the door, and then they stopped. So it was about an 8-week backlog, if that makes sense, before all the product finally hit the store and no more product came behind it. So I'm suspecting, and this is just my gut feeling, I could be totally off, we're going to see tariff price effects and availability effects in the mid-May to mid-June timeframe. Now, on the flip side, being aware of that, knowing this, actually gives you a heads up. We can't control any of this, right? I mean, you voted for who you voted for, it doesn't matter, right? We got who we got in office, they're doing decisions, other people are making decisions. Most of us can't control it. I mean, we can get on the internet and complain. I would propose instead, watch what's happening and try to forecast. And it's almost like a heat map, a threat map, if you will. What will most likely affect me in this environment? So, okay, economic goes up. My vehicle, say, is a Toyota, right? I'm driving a Toyota, which is actually, this model's built here in Texas. From what I was able to gather, because I'm friends with some of the dealer guys here, 80% of the vehicle is actually manufactured in the US, right? Which was Japan, it was Toyota invested heavily in American manufacturing 15 years ago because of this same thing. They wanted to avoid tariffs. At the time, it wasn't retaliatory, it was just, business sense. So, and Japan's already trying to make a deal. So I don't think Japan, getting parts from Japan is going to be an issue for my Toyota, for example, because they come from here or from Japan itself. But my wife, some of the textiles, some of the ribbons, some of those things for the small business, they're going to have to pivot. My daughter has a small business where she does terrariums and I guess decor, like really high-end decor that you'd see in a doctor's office. Some of her pieces sell for $2,000. It takes her weeks to make them. Like, it's insane what she does. Her stuff will come from different countries. None of it comes from China, though. She gets it from the US, she gets it from Mexico, she gets stuff from the Philippines, different countries. So she's already watching to see, okay, how do I navigate? And she knows that certain products are or are not affected by certain tariffs. So she's adjusting her, she's trying to adjust her, how shall I say, her product mix, if you will. So, no, well, Neil, if you look it up, look up on it, we actually have 2 Toyota plants here. And to your point, I don't know, I know the parts are made, body parts are made, engines made, but not all the components. Some of it does import. But again, to that point, because it's largely manufactured here and components from overseas, I would probably be less affected than someone who, say, buys, I don't know, a Fiat, which is almost entirely built overseas, or Beamer, which is entirely built overseas. That's going to get very expensive. So if they need parts, or if they can find off the shelf parts. So that is heads up. You have this knowledge that, hey, next 2 to 4 weeks, right? We're not seeing it now. Everyone's been saying, oh, prices are going up. They haven't gone up yet. Honest to God, I haven't seen it. Maybe you have, I haven't. But the vendors, the retailers are already going to start adjusting prices going into next month. And now we're at the end of the month. So that means they're going to get their new cost rolls and all the prices are going to change. So now's a good time to start understanding, what do you consume, what do you utilize here in your life day to day that could be affected. And again, I'm going to go back to the business fundamentals, right? And I like to cite, because I'm a business guy, I like to cite the business fundamentals. Can you find a different source for what you need? 2, if you can't find a different source, can you source it yourself? Can you make it, create it, or contract it, somehow fill that gap? And option 3 would be, can you do without it entirely? Can you void the need for this product, whatever it is? So if you buy, for example, I don't know, a shirt or shirts that come from Hong Kong and now they're double the price, well, can you find a different shirt that looks the same, that fits the bill? If you can't, can you make your own? You know, I don't know if you're a seamstress or something. I'm just give you an idea. And then option 3, if you can't do either, can you just do without that product? Can you find something completely different to fill the void? Go wear a different type of clothing, you know? Understanding how to maneuver, understanding what your options are is going to be key to navigating any kind of inflationary environment. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Neil. So look at what you buy every day, right? For instance, like I said, according to this business map, and I swear it came from the government, but I can't remember which of the government sites, but Texas imports 9% of its imports come from China. That's it. California, 35% of its imports come from China or are sourced from China. So that's a big delta there. And again, those numbers could be fallacious because like California could import something from China, then make something else and sell it in Texas and say, oh, well, it's a California product, when in reality, it's some product from China that was repackaged. So again, the numbers, you got to take them with a grain of salt. But you look at, for instance, a state like Texas or New Mexico, where we're adjacent to Mexico. So produce, clothing, textiles we can get from Mexico. And even with the Mexican tariffs, it's nothing compared to Chinese. Further, because Texas is so big and we have the agriculture, the energy, the coast for seafood, and we're next to Louisiana and we're south of Oklahoma, we're in the middle of ranch and ag country here. Whereas your experience in, say, Manhattan or LA is going to be vastly different than someone living in, I don't know, in the outskirts of San Francisco, out in the farmlands of California, where you have farmers and farmers markets everywhere. You don't even have a grocery store the way we know it in the cities because you don't need it. You just go down the street and the farmer has his little booth. So understanding where you can find different products, understanding how you can pivot and replace your products if you can't get them at a reasonable price and you cannot find another resource for it. Can you replace it entirely? Can you do something else to fit that bill? Okay, so I just want everyone to think in those terms. Remember, you want to be able to maneuver, pivot. We have the heads up. We know what's possibly going to happen with the pricing if they don't come to agreements. So start positioning yourself now, so when everyone else, all the general public, realizes, oh no, the prices have gone up, everything sucks, you can at least say, well, I knew that was going to happen, so I've already made other arrangements. Start checking out your local farmers market. Start buying from the local boutiques and the small businesses. Start trying to shorten your supply chain. If you can get stuff closer to home, do that. And you might have to do without certain things. Hey, Devil Dog. Thank you, Neil. hey, Teresa, you might have to do without certain things. That's okay too. Obviously, meds are going to be a concern. I can't really speak to that. That's not my wheelhouse per se. But if you can get your meds in 90-day supplies, like if you have maintenance meds for your heart, blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever, that you're going to take every day, you usually can talk to your insurance company or even Medicaid, Medicare, and get them in 90 or 120 day supplies. And it's cheaper for the insurance companies. So if it's eligible, they'll be on board as well. But in any case, folks, I want to leave you with those thoughts. There's a lot of people kind of freaking out. And yeah, we should be concerned, but this is an important time because we need to be looking carefully at what's going to be affected in our individual situations and then start making adjustments. Okay, where else can I find this product? My wife and her association, since most of them are in Texas, they're already looking at sourcing whatever used to come from China from Mexico if it's not here in the US. And because we've sent so much manufacturing away, there's not a lot of options for the ladies. So I might actually be making a trip to Juarez with my wife to meet a manufacturer down there to see if there's another source. And again, this is where being bilingual really comes in handy, because I can go to Mexico with my passport and, you know, completely legit, like a formal visit, and conduct business, and I can just switch languages as needed. So if I go to Mexico, I will do a live stream from Mexico. I will share, because we're about 5 hours away. I will share what I see there. I'll share what the people are doing. I will tell you the food there is much better, and it's a lot cleaner than the shit we eat here. You know, as poor as some parts of Mexico are, I'll take the food there any day over half the shit we're eating here, right? A street taco made from local beef is much better than half the shit you eat at McDonald's, and that's just my opinion. But of course, if you eat the wrong thing, you get Montezuma's revenge and you'll be in the toilet for an hour. So just caution there. In any case, folks, be good, be safe, God bless, and remember, pay attention, figure out what's going to get affected, and then say to yourself, okay, how do I get around this? Start thinking now. Take a troubleshooting mindset, a problem-solving mentality, and that'll get us through a lot. You guys be good, be safe out there. God bless.